Alright, my darlings. Hello, everyone. It's my yard here. It's time. Once again, it's a new year. Yes, it is. And we're going to talk about WWE 2K23. All sprung upon us very quickly in a very, very short space of time. And there's a hell of a lot of information to go through. Normally, we get seeded this information. We didn't get seeded anything. So, a lot of this I am reading since I finished work for the first time-ish. Lots of creators have posted content on it. I was given a press release. I will go through that little press release for you now, and then I will give you my honest feedbacks from it as well. On top of this, of course, we've got some screenshots which I will gladly show off to you now. Boom, there we go. Get them into the right position. There we go. In my eyes, before I get to the press release, graphically, I don't see any major improvements. And as normally, the rule is, if they've got no hair, it means the hair physics is messed up. And I still think the hair physics is messed up, because if we get to Drew, in a minute, NWO Hogan, yeah, you know, DLC for the previous game, for life, should be Drew Romans shortly. Cena, again, no hair, short hair, not going to care any way, shape or form on it. Tyre looks crisp, no question there. Hair's messed up on Drew. Hair's messed up on Roman. Something's very simple. It's War Games, awesome. But the fundamental thing that people complained about was the hair. Bianca's hair as well. Doesn't look right. Could have been fixed. May still get fixed. But it just doesn't look right even in those screenshots. So putting that out there for you right now. Big thing is War Games, of course. War Games, the fan favourite. Chaotic and action-packed War Games makes its debut in WWE 2K23 and delivers heart-pounding 3v3 and 4v4 single-player or multiplayer mayhem inside two side-by-side rings surrounded by a double steel cage. Yes, apparently there was an interview. I'll bring up the interview that True Be Well posted. Got interviewed by the press regarding that they've added new animations in between the two rings as well to throw people in and out and stuff. Well, Universe Mode Venom, we'll get to that. There is stuff to talk about on that one. So basically, the announcement of it's appearing on PS5, PS4, Xbox Series, Xbox One, and PC via Steam. 16-time world champion, Hollywood icon, record-setting philanthropist, and a WWE 2K23 executive soundtrack producer as well. John Cena will be featured on the cover of each edition of the game, striking 3 of his signature poses. Bad Bunny will be one of the most, he was one of the most streamed artists in the world, will also make his W2K debut, and he is the pre-order bonus. Key things that we get down here, it says features several franchises enhancements, including a new take on the 2K showcase, the 2K introduction on the fan favorite war games. It's not even a 2K introduction, it's a WWE game introduction realistically. Don't count Day of Reckoning. That's almost, yeah. Or WrestleMania 19 when you had the triple cages and stuff. That was cool. Several marquee game modes and expansions to several marquee game modes. We'll see what the expansions are. Advanced entrances. Well, we'll see what happens, Alex. We'll see if and when we get hold of gameplay. Meant to be a more stuff to come. Obviously, we're only like 2 months away because the release dates. Let's see. Release date is 17th for the standard and 14th of March for the deluxe and icon editions. There's a 3-day gap. Yeah. Tuesday 14th for early access and standard edition and cross gens on Friday the 17th. 3 days difference. Fans can look forward to a deep roster of legends and wrestlers, including superstars Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, Ronda Rousey, Brock Lesnar, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and more. Incredibly realistic graphics, animations, camera angles, and lighting, plus accessible controls. Accessible controls, I really, really do hope we're going to see accessible controls be the fundamental thing, because having fixed control schemes for so long, we want to be able to change it. Russell, I agree with you. It looks the same in my book. I don't see a massive improvement. Is the showcase actually just us playing against Cena and not playing as him? Yeah, I don't know whether it's going to be like you have the options to do the for and against. We've seen game modes in the past where you could do both sides of a particular match type, match mode. The visual concepts are back down. The visual concept team didn't back down from the challenge to prove the quality of the 2K franchise is here to stay. W2K23 takes a winning formula and adds so much more. I would not say 2K22 was a winning formula. And I will have a video. Haven't played 2K22 in months. I'm going to play some while we stream when we talk about the game shortly. I haven't played it apart from maybe once or twice in the last 6 months. Had no interest. March 17th is the general release. March 14th for pre-release, for early access if you have deluxe and icons. The 2K Showcase mode, conquering John Cena in the ring is an accolade few superstars can claim. In an unprecedented twist on the showcase, players will step up into the boots of several of Cena's toughest competitors with one goal in mind: defeat the man who will never give up. Spanning his 20-year career, narrated by Cena himself, this edition will be available from March 14th, 3 days ahead of the standard edition. Oh, I'm looking at... I've gone into 2 different parts. So... I'm reading my book. I was skipping from page 1 to page 3. John Cena himself, this interactive sports entertainment documentary uses 2K's unique slingshot tech, which, alright, critiquing slingshot tech for a seamless transition from gameplay to live action footage to bring pivotal moments in each match to life. The problem with Showcase mode last year, apart from being quite dull, sorry Ray, is not your matches, just the gameplay was boring. Creators couldn't post content for Showcase because of the live action footage. They would always get copyright claimed. There was no point. They would get claimed or striked, and it was just a pain in the backside. And they were told this. They know about this, and yet they've doubled down and done it with Cena. So I really hope, and I hope they've done it so that there is some sort of streamer mode that you'd be able to just turn off the live action footage and just get the gameplay, because that would be ideal for content creators. But I feel like they've taken that route as a lazy route to do less animations for the showcase mode. We'll see what happens, but that's just an assumption I'm making off of it. I can be completely wrong. Raw Games is 3v3 or 4v4. That pretty much confirms, I'd assume, that there's no 5v5, which is what War Games is normally about. That's not 3v3 is great. That's like doing team elimination chamber like the good old days. 4v4 could be good as well. We've already got normal tag and stuff like that. Until we see actual gameplay of War Games, I'm not going to justify it. From seeing the trailer and seeing the same attitude adjustment animation, We know the gameplay in terms of the engine is pretty much identical, at least from that perspective. There is something that pops up about pinning submissions have been optimized, and yeah, a new optional pinning mechanic. But is that optional pinning mechanic available to play online? Because we already had, remember, uh, two methods of doing 2K22. You had button bashing, or you had the hold instead of a button bashing. But if you can only choose the one of them for online, and you can't choose between either as an option, it's going to annoy a lot of people, I think. My GM now featuring more GMs to choose from, or a player's own custom GM creation, as well as additional show options, multiple seasons, expanded match cards, and more match types for up to 4 players. Players draft a roster, manage budgets, sign free agents, choose various match types, arena locations, production elements, and more, with the goal of beating a rival GM in weekly ratings battle. Now, I saw a tweet by someone from the press says GM mode is still offline only. I can't confirm that, but they're saying 2K have confirmed it's offline only for my GM. Not the worst thing in the world, but it's an expansion of what my GM should have been in 2K22. They needed more time for 22's my GM mode. I think this is what, hopefully, is what it should have been last year. They were a year behind, in my opinion. My faction, which was something I got really into to start with, and then there was no variety afterwards. Yes, there was weekly towers and ladders, and you'll see me, once I've done this press release, I will go and play some. We'll talk about the game at that point. Now featuring online multiplayer. That's the big thing. The team building mode in which players collect, manage, and upgrade an array of superstars and legends to create their ultimate 4-person faction returns. Now, hopefully, it just means with my faction we can do 1v1 matches and not just 4v4s. Yes, Mark, that'd be great. If you can DM me that, that'd be awesome. Yes, because obviously my faction attires exclusives become a big deal as well. Yes, good thinking, dude. Good thinking. Now featuring online team building mode, blah blah blah. Players can now take their faction online and complete for global dominance, or complete weekly towers and faction wars, while new themed card packs and goals roll out regularly throughout the year. I mean, I worked out it was every 2 weeks. Roughly, we had an expansion for my faction, and now that we're near the end of 2K22, they pretty much just put diamonds in all the packs. Either or, Mark, I'll get the link from you either way, so don't worry. My Rise aspiring superstars walk through the curtain for the WWE debut in My Rise and shape their career with the decisions made along the way, featuring distinct men's and women's divisions, storylines, and the ability to import custom created superstars. We were looking for an import method. Players journey from the humble beginnings of a rookie to being immortalized as a WWE legend. So 2 new major storylines, effectively. Universe. The Universe sandbox that puts players in charge of their own version of WWE, from superstar rosters, feuds, champions, weekly shows, and premium live events. Updates to Universe include a reworked story system and more. Apparently, from the Brian Williams interview, there's talk about that they embedded the Universe engine into My Rise, so it works a bit easier because it was its own separate thing, and hopefully it means they can do more things. We'll see. Universe has been ignored for basically nearly a decade now. It's got to be said. A creation suite, a signature feature of the 2K franchise. The creation suite returns with cross-platform community creations. Interesting, because the amount I don't know, including the ability to design custom superstars, GMs, arenas, entrances, movesets, championships, and more. Custom arenas are now playable online, and advanced customizations had been added to created entrances. The custom arenas were available to play years ago online. Someone in the chat can probably tell me when the last time a custom arena was able to be played online. Certainly, the OG, like WWE, SVR, Smack, and 2K, like maybe in 2K14. I just remember that there was always availability on that one. The cross-platform is still interesting because with my faction, that's odd. Because I would have thought with my faction and alternate ties and stuff, being able to get hold of that still. Maybe it won't include PC, and it's just the console to console, and PC gets to know, because that's how most of the grab on the My Faction ties were done, wasn't it? It was through the PC and then put it onto community creations. But interesting to see if that's been blocked off that route, or it's still PC and all 4 consoles. That press release doesn't give enough information. There are 4 editions of the game available for purchase, and I have it, by the way, next day or two. I'll have a shop link for my own shop. If you're in the UK, you can pre-order the physical standard editions if you like. Deluxe editions definitely are digital only, unless Game are going to get hold of a version, etc. Kind of like before. Standard edition will be available for $49.99 in the UK on the PC, $59.99 in previous gens, which is PS4 and Xbox One, and $69.99 current gen consoles in both physical and digital formats. Prices on the physical formats will be cheaper. In fact, I pretty much know roughly what the trade price it is for me as a retailer to be able to get the physical copies. I can assure you that it will be cheaper than that if you buy it physical from me. Just saying, not including postage. I'm going to do track delivery. It costs some money, okay? Anyway, and you won't get it early. Just also pointing that one out. You know, embargoes. The cross-gen edition will be available digitally for $69.99, which is the same as the standard edition from the next gen, the current gen. So you might as well get the cross-gen version if you're going to get it for the Friday launch, because it's the same price. It just means you get the standard edition on both PS4 and PS5 or Xbox One and Xbox Series. If you're going digital and you're doing it for the Friday launch, that's the edition you just go. It just makes sense. The deluxe edition is available 3 days early. It's for £90, so 20 quid more. It is available for PS4 and Xbox One as well at the same price, and PC in digital format. There is meant to be physical format for the deluxe edition. Independent retailers, at least at the moment, aren't getting deluxe editions. I think it's probably going to be a game exclusive. It normally is a game exclusive. It could be Amazon exclusive, but certainly not independent retailers anyway. The deluxe edition includes this. I actually really hope it is available for retailers like myself as well. But historically, the deluxe edition has never been available for us. Anyway, deluxe edition includes the standard edition Bad Bunny bonus pack plus the season pass to all 5 post-launch DLC content packs, the My Rise Mega Boost and Supercharger, Ruby John Cena My Faction card, a Gold Edge My Faction card, Emerald Bianca Belair Faction card, Gold Asuka, and 3 basic premium launch card packs. The deluxe edition will be available 3 days ahead. The big edition is always digital, and this is the Icon edition for £105, £104.99. Again, PS4, PS5, Xbox Series, and digital Xbox One and PC. It is including everything in the standard, everything in deluxe, and the Icon gives you the Ruthless Aggression pack, which is John Cena's 20-year career by featuring the prototype, Finn Batista, rookie versions of Brock and Orton, the Legacy Championship of John Cena, and a WrestleMania 22 arena. Additional bonus content includes an Emerald Paul Heyman My Faction card, 3 deluxe premium launch My Faction packs, and the Icon edition will be available 3 days ahead of the standard edition again. So it's the same date. Pre-order the standard edition and you get Bad Bunny. Simple as that. Tune in tonight to Monday Night Raw for the world premiere of Even Stronger Showcase trailer, including more information and a look at WWE 2K23 gameplay. Whether it's going to be longer than the trailer that we've been given today, I do not know. I'm just trying to read if there's anything else. The WWE 2K23 and internet access required to play My Faction content. Online accounts, you have to be over 13. Required to access online features. The usual thing. Simple as that. Well, seeing this showcase ECW, the one night's done, that'd be nice actually. Is there going to be a physical edition for the best edition? Nope, it is digital only. Only a digital version. Unless they do something else. As long as everything's a primary colour mark, I'll be able to pay a difference to it. It's only if you get like different shades of red or different shades of blue that are dark, then that gets into the problem. Where are you reading everything? I got a press release, Venom, so that's how I'm reading it all. Like I said, you see the screenshots, and the screenshots for 2K22 were nice as well, but I don't like the image for Drew and Roman. I don't think there's been any massive improvements in terms of the models, anyway. And the same for Bianca and Rhea. The hair is an issue, I think. It's interesting that they're doing the showcase the other way, using the opponents rather than Cena, but in fairness, getting bored of playing Cena for multiple matches. How many matches? We don't know yet, of course. But the content creators are going to be annoyed unless we get some sort of streamer-friendly mode for the showcase. Showcase has been quite lacking because it's just do this, do that, It's just, it's not. It's not like it's like a button bash you're facing. Like you have to do 5 combos against your opponent and then win the match, like a fighting game, and it's all in 30 seconds. It drags on. It really drags on it. But everyone's looking forward to war games. That's going to be the ceiling point. But from playing 2K22, the press release is given to any members of the press or content creators. That's basically it. In fact, some content creators might already have copied the press release word for word. Some do that. John Cena is narrating on the showcase as what. Then we don't know who's. In fact, they haven't announced who's doing the commentary this year. That's interesting. Normally they would say who it is. Will there be objectives in showcase mode? Well, showcase mode is all about doing objectives, so yeah, that's exactly what showcase has been for the last. Oh my god, when did it start in like WD12? Like we've had the showcase mode in for so very very long. Like I think you can just do away with the showcase mode. I know it's highlighting someone's career or an era, but the mode has just been done exactly the same every year. Having a visual slingshot tech is verbatim garbage. If you look at the CENA trailer where he's on the couch, you can hear Jimmy Smith, I think. Interesting. Let's see if I can get the trailer up. So let's just add a source. Video. Let's get a video up. Big question for the springboard. Can you springboard from one wing to the other like raining at WCW? They've said you can springboard from the trench. They've not said about springboard one place to another. Well, that's something we'll have to explore. Let me add a new source. Let me just grab the file. That's the higher quality one.
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, can I get a selfie with you guys?
Of course.
Yes.
Transform.
Come on, John, push! Ah!
Cena, you son of a...
What's up, John?
Hey! Wait, they can see me?
So, I mean, I couldn't hear that video because I actually did the file and not played it. But they've not announced the commentary team, which is kind of interesting. It's kind of one of those things like, normally this gets announced like first time, like with everything else. So have we got different people doing it this time? Or is it still the same? I mean, I'd love that to be a press release announcement, just it's Pat and Michael Cole as part of it. I feel like it's still got to be Saxton, Corey, and Michael Cole. Surely, it's got to be those three still. My GM, I'm on. I don't think my GM's going to be. My GM, like I say, should have been what it was in 2K22. Should have had more things to go on. It was very limited and very basic. Hopefully this will actually give it a lot more options to go for. For me, my faction will be the key fundamental thing. But there's a lot of things that need to be improved with it. As I do this, I need to move stuff about a little bit. Let me just, because I'm going to get my actual console on. And we'll get some 2K... Oh, God, come on. I was going to get the PS5 on and we'll have 2K22 in the background as we chat. I tried to go on 2K22 last night. I went on for an hour. It genuinely took me 20 minutes to find a match that worked because there was connection issues trying to connect into the game. The game's crashing in loading. The game split in terms of it just disconnected everyone. And then I faced someone that basically, as soon as he hit finisher, he just kept pinning and pinning and pinning and pinning, and you couldn't get up. It's like, ugh. There's a lot of things needing fixed in 2K22 that just didn't get fixed in time. They've got a year. They've had a year to do the main fixes. Can they improve on it? What do you think? Like, I'm gonna transfer us so you can see my faction onto 2K22. Look, they're giving us 99 diamonds now onto it. And jump to my faction. Oh my god, it actually works. Actually, my faction, that jump button, it only took them 9 months, but yes, congratulations, ka-ching. My faction was my go-to mode. You saw me, if you saw me at the beginning of last year when we started this, we completed this before anyone else. We got all the major guys before anyone else. So I basically had diamonds, full stop. Wouldn't it have been better to wait till November for release? No, because in terms of 2K's financial years, they would have had to skip another financial year for the game, which then messes their earnings and stuff like that. So, to be honest, having it at WrestleMania season makes more sense than at Christmas season for a lot of things. I think having it as an 18-month gap, it would only be if they were starting from scratch again. And realistically, I think seeing the engine still being the same, they need to change the engine. In all honesty, I used to play this a lot, but it just got boring. So there was a lot of weeks in my faction. I got to week 21, and then I just gave up. You can see there is 50 weeks down there. Faction wars. Have they done anything else? Because I got the so I got the 500 wins. There's no reason for me to do it unless I go for another, a Diamond 96 Trish Stratus. It's like cool. Alternate attires are great. Having it locked to this mode was the problem. And if this is the case again with my faction, because they are saying new theme card packs and goals roll out regularly throughout the year. If the alternate attires in my faction do not transfer over to the main game to play just randomly online, then there's just a huge issue. Because realistically, it shouldn't be locked behind a paywall just for that mode. It should be available. If people want to spend money getting the alternate attires, fair enough, but they should be able to then use it in universe mode, in my GM mode, in exhibition, in normal online multiplayer, if they've unlocked it. Keeping it in my faction will be an insane problem, and I hope that's not the case. I really don't. Let's see. Actually, I haven't seen what else is available here. Oh, just get to 1080 and you get the rock. Okay, they're not going any further. Fine. Faction war. Proving Grounds having the single player thing was fine. Having the chapters here was fine. There were some decent challenges, especially near the end. Last chapter, land 700 grab attacks Charlotte Flair, you can get to hell. Like, some of those challenges were stupid. Having this as a 1-on-3 tag was a great idea, in all honesty. Great idea. 1-on-2 tornado tag. Like, there was some challenges, and it was on legendary mode. There was no question on that. But it just gave up. The scene on the cover, the artwork's fantastic. It was very good. Alright, I'm just going to... Oh, let's play Kibutazawa. Let's use the rock. It was also, because it was an online mode for my faction in 2K22, even doing the single player, you were time locked. Because it's actually connecting you to the online server to let you know about the records and everything. So if you completed the match in less than 60 seconds, you had to wait till the 60-second timer was gone. How dare you, Tozawa, get some punches on you. How dare you. Gonna brainbuster me? With the roll up. How dare he. Oh damn, I went for the stupid low. I went for the stupidly long animation, didn't I? Alright, let's spinebuster him. I think the new pinning system is going to be the same as the old pinning system. I don't see any difference. Like, it has to be, unless they've gone to like back to a line system like the old 2K games, there was no issue before. Let's get some taunts up. Rocky Bottom. One more time. I don't need to do one more time. It's a Tozawa. Main event. They spent $1 million just to get The Rock on the main event. The button bashing system was flawed. Turbo controllers could just kick out all the time, and it got to a point where it was made impossible to kick out. There should always. But 2K22, you could choose between a hold method of holding the button bashing or button bashing. So it was silly. They should never taken out the timer. I understand from a new player perspective, that's what they were trying to achieve. Have new players be able to just, kick out by just spamming the button. But then you got the more competitive side where that doesn't work. It just doesn't work. And that's what became an issue. And that's their problem, in all honesty. I'll try and get myself the Icon Edition. I don't know if I'm going to go PS5 or Xbox yet. Depends what downloads earlier. Whoa, rocking those pythons. How dare you? Only look at... It also depends what roster we're going to get, because we normally get a roster reveal about 2 months before. We're less than 2 months to go. Like, what are we getting for... We're just going to not even get a roster announcement. It's just going to be, here's the guys. Like, the roster reveal is a big thing each year. And... I'll take a Rocky Bottom. No. Got the old-fashioned rock style. It's so... I mean, I assume we're going to get the same commentary team because there's so many lines of code, of audio code, that they wouldn't want to just ditch all of it. I'll have a look in a minute, Mark. Yeah. We certainly, what we've got in terms of the roster right now, we know that we've got Austin and Cena and Batista and Brock and Cody and Ronda and Orton. So, and we know in the pictures we've got Drew and Roman, Rhea and Bianca. So that's 11. Lashley's 12, isn't it? So we had a decent sized roster. It wasn't the biggest roster ever, I think, because with everyone leaving the company during COVID times, there was so much stuff cut from My Rice. So much stuff. Like, there must have been stuff with Bray at the time. What are we doing? Is it Iron Man match? Oh, is it what sort of Iron Man match? Just saying Iron Man match. It could be anything. Fine. Trent has to face The Rock. The date I'm fine with. Having it out just before WrestleMania is the most logical sense. I would have actually had it pretty much on WrestleMania weekend where possible. There is other big releases coming out as well. We've got Resident Evil remake is getting done. I just noticed the game's lagging on the stream in terms of the picture. Like, the frame rate's really messed up. I'm gonna have to look that up in a second. Yeah, Bray's probably another one that's not gonna be in again. Still a slot ID again, yeah. Okay. I will take a look-see. Boom. Big clothesline on the Trent 7. Listen, my faction doing 9-man matches when the AI is garbage is like, well, are you just giving me the win? It's March 17th for standard editions, March 14th for the deluxe. Right. Do I remember if this still works? Oh. Arm draggy. Rock bottom. Thanks for coming. There we go. GG. Bad Bunny's the pre-order bonus. So, and which is fine. It's kind of like who's been pre-order bonuses over the years? The Rock's been pre-order bonus actually over the years, hasn't he? Trent kicks out the second one. That makes no logical sense. We've had Austin and stuff. Having Rock as pre-order bonus was stupid because he was in the game the year before. Oh, they pretty much confirmed Logan Paul as well, haven't they? And Theory's confirmed. Like, okay. I mean, Logan Paul got actually quite decent views on social media for his DLC on my end, so. He kicked out again? What the hell? March 17th for the standard, March 14th for the deluxe, or icon edition. I mean, 105 for you're paying 15 quid to basically get the OVW boys. Just them good old boys. Surely CENA will be 90 plus. I've been only putting it. I mean, CENA, I'd assume just the older variants of CENA as well. Boom. Yeah, do you think they will fix the pin system for online going back to tab pin system? I hope so, Chai. I'm worried that whatever pin system they choose, it'll be the wrong one for online, because that's what normally happens. Having the button bash online was just such a bad idea. Oh god, snap powder. Oh my goodness. One. No soul. Jacob, I've told you that. I've told them multiple people. It's March 17th for the standard, March 14th for the deluxe. Wow. Spine Buster. Spine Buster. Hey, at least I get my daily unlocks if I get the 8 signatures done, I suppose. It's not even that the button bashing pins because it's damage based. It's not because of that, Isha. Button bashing, some people just can't button bash. And then there's others that can do it and win every single time. That's not how a game should be played. Big barrel about it. It should never be an option. I think I've got HDR on. I think this is why I've got some variable frame issues, I think. I'll know by looking at you. Oh, it's actually not too bad on stream. Well, online, I'd like the only matches I've played on 2K22 online is normally the multi-man, because the multi-man matches are normally just the most fun. You get loads of people cheesing. Oh, you're trying to go for the sevens. that lariat, weren't you? Weren't you? Roll over that way. 3. Big fake smash moontrap. Oh, nice elbows. Like those Brock Lesnar elbows. I just hope for something that isn't this. I want it to be more than just... If I get a chance to play the game and I just feel this on 23 and I feel nothing else, and it's like, well, you've not improved it. I hope this is one thing I want out of 2K22. I want the stun meter gone. I want the stun meter gone. I think it's a huge problem. I want it disappeared. It just ruins it. The stun bar just makes things overpowered because you can chain them. They did patch it so it sort of stopped it, but if you know what the pattern to look for, you can just do it close to endlessly. Is it the same flow as SVR 2007? Apart from being, obviously, it's done by Rob. Wouldn't be a nice Easter egg if that's the case. Boom! Oh. Yeah, you can't reverse while you're stunned. That's kind of the big problem, Venom. You can't reverse if you're stunned. That's the whole reason I'm getting at. The stun meter is garbage. Now, when you had in 19 and 18, and when it was to do with the orbs, from a counter perspective, it was a strategy thing. The stun bar is not a strategy thing. It's as soon as you see that bar, it's like, I'm going to get you stunned as quick as possible, because if I get you stunned, I can just do this. I can just spam you with strikes. They spam you and spam you, and then we hit you with that. What did they say about my GM? Well, my GM, they've just expanded the match cards, multiple seasons, for up to 4 players, and someone confirmed online, I believe, that it's still offline only. My faction is the key online major modes that they focused on. I need 2 more subs? 2 more or 3 more? That's some, not subs. Oh, big lariat. There we go. There we go. Just... Uh-oh. That's a burning hammer. That's a burning hammer. No one kicks out of the burning hammer unless you're the Rock. So 2K19 had a reversal meter. So if you ran out of reversals, you can reverse for a set period of time. You had the abilities such as Possum and stuff to help you reverse or give you extra reversals. But more importantly, you could turn it off. You could turn off that facility. You couldn't turn off this stun meter. That's the problem. Online anyway. It's the same for the count meter on 2K19 online. You couldn't remove that either. Right, I need to do 2 signatures in 5 minutes. How do you get a major reversal? Well, major reversals are just mid-move reversals. 2K19 you have to use 2 counters to do a major reversal. Here it's just every move that potentially has it can be used as a major reversal. And elbow in your face. And stun. And just build up the sig. It's so... Well, before... Yeah, so when they had unlimited reversals and you did the major reversals, it was unblockable. Oh no, you had so if you did a major reversal, it stopped you from reversing, even if you had reversal bars. So I don't know, COVID messes with people's heads. You just forget the last sort of few years of information. It feels a lifetime ago, but at the same time, it doesn't feel that long ago that there was a 2K19 and 2K20. Like, I'm moving my shop into bigger premises next month. I've been in the current place for 5 years. Oh no, backdrop driver. 19 was still, the $1 million challenge was great. I got robbed. 100% I should have been in there. Uh-oh. Oh, back suplex. Oh. Boof. Lariat. Oh. No. The Rock kicks out because he's the damn Rock. Big leggy drop. Oh, he was... Whoa. Interesting spine buster counter. I don't think I've seen that counter before. What was it? That was a unique counter. Bitch. I don't think... The thing is, seeing the animations, I can't see it being... I just don't see it. I think we're going to see more of 2K22 and 2K23. And that, for some people, that won't be a bad thing. But the game peaked at 19 and it's still been struggling to get up. You can add more modes and types and everything like that, but fundamentally, if the gameplay is still off, the gameplay's still off. It's the whole polishing a turd metaphor. Get on that table. Get on that table. Actually, from the trailer, did we get a chance to see what the announce table was like? Much like 19 was an upgraded 18 and 18 was an upgraded 17. I don't think we're going to see a major improvements to the game. Purely from a stance of, we would have seen something sooner. If they were really improved with the gameplay, improved with everything, they wouldn't leave it 6-7 weeks before launch. Not well. There is a trailer going to happen at Raw. Whether it's the same trailer that we got earlier, but there is something else coming. Good have Rocky Bottom. Two and three. Boom! I'm Jimmy King. And a lovely elbow drop. 1, 2. And 10 didn't go. Remember this, son of a bitch. That's how you win, bitch. 1 count win, yeah. My gym will have more match types, but my gym should have had more match types than 2K22. It should have had more footage, more gameplay. It was not completed in time, in my honest opinion. Because they added stuff in after launch, didn't they? They added the was it tactiles? They added a belt anyway that wasn't there before. Becky and Money. Becky and Money. I'll check this. I'll check it, Matt. Mark. Sorry. I'll click it. I'll click it. I need access. God damn it, Mark. I actually need access. That's fine. So I've requested the access. Yeah, that was even available for launch. So it's yeah, it was right with tag titles. So like, I think Becky gets a finisher after 2 taunts. Yeah. Oh, Sasha. What are these guys doing? Oh. I mean, I think it's great that we get the War Games match. There's no question at this. I'm disappointed that I don't think the gameplay is going to be much different. But until we play it, I don't know. I'm just looking at the animations that we've seen. And I'm skeptical. But we'll pass judgment until... Boom! Shoulder block of death! Nia Jax, go bye-bye! We've got our 60 points, that's all that matters. Oh! Carmella! There we go. Easy peasy. Oh, do you think we'll get a dedicated, I'm assuming what Chi-Town's meaning, Irish whip button? Yeah, having an Irish whip button in the grapple, major oversight, like major backward step. The gameplay was a huge issue, Venom. A huge issue online. Because the stun meter was unbalanced. There was so much stuff that went wrong and still is wrong. You go online, and this is what happens on an average match online. Strike, 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 strike. Grapple combo move. Strike, 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 strike. Grapple combo move. Stun, 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 stun. Strike, 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 strike. Finisher, finisher. It's just the same moves again and again. It's just that's annoying. And that's what happens in every online game. Cheap on cheap. I mean, they only had less than a year to work on it with 2K2 gameplay. I mean, they had 18 months to 2 years from 2K20. It's, you know, it's perspective. Ew, nice sunset flip camera. No, that's Reckoning. It's not even my EM, it's Reckoning. Oh, it's Mitch. How did you get that in? War games can. Who said war games going to be in 3 arenas? But even from an AI perspective, Venom, the AI is not particularly good, even in the advanced settings. We're going for a gut wrench. And poof. Poof. Incoming! Get in there. Oh, well, maybe not. And if I remember rightly... Tag! Let me tag! There's also still the bug for the taunts on the apron. Still not fixed. Reverse. I mean more the first. I mean, actually, Venom. When it comes to the Hell in Cell, they were sometimes clueless. That thing I saw, certainly my faction. I saw. Was it in my faction mode? I remember Hell in a Cell. It was a universe mode. Doing an AI match. They threw themselves off the cell. And they never got back into the ring because they never got close enough to the cell to climb back up and think, oh, we need to get back in the ring. It just didn't work. Some fundamental logic in the AI program was just not there. Which is a shame. It is just a shame. We've only got a press release to go on. We've only seen like 3 seconds of gameplay. Yeah, the set sliders do barely anything. It's not a thing. Oh my god, it's all handicap matches. Ooh. Interesting. I'll take the challenge. I've never noticed the sliders doing anything whatsoever for the AI. Because all the sliders do is it increases the probability of them countering. It doesn't affect their logic. The logic is what's the issue here. They're still going to attempt to do the same things again and again and again. But the sliders are basically trying to copy what Fire Pro did long ago. It's the same premise. Oh no. No. Okay, that was not expected. Ow. And the super... What is this madness? Flipping reverse in and flipping 8 and 6 and a finisher against me? Bret the Hitman Hart. Of course they're tag teams, so they actually get boosts here. Bret Hart jumping as well. Movesets was a big issue actually. The movesets were not accurate for a lot of guys. What? I mean, don't get me wrong, Bret did do suicide dives. I just forgot to expect that. 19 was better. '19 certainly was slightly better in terms of that. 20 was just, yeah, let's not talk about 20. Because 20 wasn't basing the AI off of 19, it was basing off the engine of 18. 22 was basing it off of fixing 20's issue, I'd assume. And 23, I'm assuming, is continuation of what 22 is. So, 19's engine is still separate. So, I don't understand. Yeah, I don't... The whole Righteous saying he did the movesets and stuff. Like... I don't know. It feels like he didn't do it. Like, he gave the list and stuff. But... he was fixing stuff at launch. Like just was doing, you know, DLC, moveset on community creations for current characters. It's almost like 2K just didn't do what his content. Which just the whole point. If he was brought to help do the movesets, they gave nothing out of it. They were off for everyone, no question. A lot of them was totally off the kilter. It's like they got some of the moves done, and just ignored everything else and was sabotaged as defaults. Corner it is still the most powerful way to deal damage. Right, so boom, boom. Well, no, you can edit movesets, but that's not the point. Ow. Don't you dare go for the sig. Just go for the summer. The covers look great. There's no arguing the covers here. The covers are fantastic looking. And props to the design team on that. And props to the marketing team when it comes to the whole CENA cover and what's happened so far. It's saddening that they haven't gotten. It's been sort of rushed. I mean, we had little bits and leaks and stuff, so it feels like this content's came out. I say rush, but at the same time, but it's less than 2 months from launch. Like, we normally see a bigger buffer between stuff, so I expect we're going to get information regularly up until launch. That would be my hope. That doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen, of course. Of course not. No, while that match is loading, let me just get that link again for Mark. Let's see. Yeah, I've got it. Thank you, Mark. Yeah, it actually comes beautiful as well. I'll show the spreadsheet in a minute. 1 on 3. 1 on 3. Thank God there's no elimination. Charlotte in, eh? It's actually key because it means we literally are doing the whole horsewoman here. They're saying calls will look on par to the. What kind of game do you think will be in the game? The game's going to be pretty much the same as 22. It would be my assumption. I hope I'm wrong, but that's my hunch on it. Calls will look on par to the actual models this year. I mean, some created superstars look better than the models in this year in 2K22. So, if not certainly better, a lot of them. So, yeah, that comment from them is probably not the right type of comment. Just going Stefan Charlotte. Was this? Have I found an not unblockable, but an infinite combo, providing it's not. Da 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 da. Na, 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 na. And they tap out. This is the thing with my faction as well. This is a handicap match. They're not going to break it up in time. Never. Mark has sent me a list of basically the confirmed roster. Not confirmed roster. The roster for last year's game, and then being able to... I will save the file and then spreadsheet it over. File. Make a copy. folder, computers. File. Email. Email this file. Download the file as a open document. Yes. That's what I want. Cool. That's fine. Thank you, Mark. I will make use of that very well. I think I've got my spreadsheet file on the wrong window display, so I don't think I'm going to be able to see it. Or I've got the PS5 on. I still think it's crazy that you can also play this showcase as the opponents pretty much doing the Legends of WrestleMania rewrite stuff. Well, it sounded like for the press release, I'll say the press release again. It doesn't sound like it's Cena doing it. That you play Cena full stop. 2K Showcase starring John Cena. Conquering John Cena in the ring is an accolade few superstars can claim. In an unprecedented twist on the 2K Showcase, players will step into the boots of several of Cena's toughest competitors with one goal in mind: defeat the man who will never give up. Spanning 20-year WWE career and narrated by himself, this interactive sports entertainment documentary uses 2K's unique slingshot tech for a seamless transition from gameplay to live action footage to bring pivotal moments in each match to life. That sounds like you don't play Cena whatsoever. So we'll have to see. Oh, we're getting into Tornado now. Oh, it's going to be tough. It sounds like it's just going to be. Do you think rest holds should be back in game? Rest holds as a starting point? Yes. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Oh. Haha! Got you, Kane! Oh. Uh-oh. Undertaker never did a back suplex on the apron. Oh my god, I can actually win by count out here. Hey, would you like a power driver on the outside? Boom, take a power driver on the outside. Haha. How do you win a match? Oh, I can't. Whoa! Oh, and it says "and" in the franchise. Right, so I need to look on the website. The press release only talks about the. Yeah, Advanced Central says, I don't know how advanced we're going to get. It would be nice if it's back to what we got. I'll do a pile driver to you, Undertaker. Boinked. Oh, come on. In the middle of my flipping move. I think, like Mark said, it's more like rewrite on Legends of WrestleMania, although that was just playing a match and not seeing any cutscenes whatsoever. Okay. Ow. Haha! Yes! I've still locked it in. Still counts. Still counts, mate. Still locked it in. Oh, and you reversed it. Female referees also confirmed. That's great, to be honest. Oh, ow. Oh, come on. Look, this is why you can't do a damn thing. Stop it! Stop it, guys! I'm gonna lose in a tornado match. Wah! I'll step through. I'll step through. Can I just point out Undertaker's taunting? Oh, fuck you. He was taunting and I nearly got it. And instead. No. No, thank you. I'll take another one. Oh. Alright. Roll through into a power driver. Dragging through. Yeah. Double leg takedown into it. Oh, come on, you son of a bitch. Alright, surely he doesn't get close to the ropes on this one. There we go. Game over. Lovely. We aren't going to be playing. No, I think it's just going to be, in terms of the showcase, it just sounds like it's going to be the enemies. Which is fine, because we might get some nice little cutscenes. We got some nice little cutscenes from showcase mode with Ray, you know, with Ray losing and losing the mask and stuff. So, we might get some good ones. 1-on-3 tag. I have diamond contracts I can play as Brett until the end of time. No, I'm looking. I'm apprehensive, but until I get a chance to play the game, I think the game needs a better engine. We are on. There's some move animations in this game that are 20 years old. Okay, without a word of a lie, there is some counters in here from Shut Your Mouth, okay? That's 20 years ago. So, no matter what, it just shows that they need to update stuff. They update stuff all the time. That's a bad terminology. But the engine is not a good engine. We should be starting from scratch. There's far better engines out there that can do the job. And coding would probably be easier as well. Boinked. That's 30. I need to get his stamina. There we go. That'll do. Get the health off. Pick him up. Log on the sharpshooter. Game. I mean, there's vintage stuff from the past where certainly SVR 2011 W12. If you worked the leg and you pretty much got their leg to red and you start to run, you'd fall down. Okay? There's no limping mechanic with the arm or the body or anything like that. All moves work. Injuries should hold. But it doesn't, which is just a little, a little bit of an issue. Loses the realistic part of it. But they were going the more arcadey route with the button bashing and the combos and stuff, which was just unnecessary to include into the game. It just was completely unnecessary. Oh, I got a pack. Let's see what pack gives me. Probably garbage. Normally there's always garbage. Oh, reveal all. Oh, a Trent 7. Woo. Yay. It's just... what I want to do is, if I had enough for pack, but I don't, do I need... Oh, I do! I kind of want the deluxe. Let's look at the pack odds. 23% diamond, 77% Aphomis. If I go the other way around, it's 63 and 37. Oh, I'm just going to open a pack. Purchase it. Oh, BD Brandon's playing 2K23. Oh, good for him. Good for him. He still lost to me last year, but good for him. Let's see if we get something. Oh, it's a diamond. Alright, let's get a diamond constructor. Amethyst steel. Diamond flycatcher. Diamond wallpaper 88. Alright, let's reveal it. Oh, it's only Seth Rollins. Well, that is his NXT attire, so do we see what it looks like? Do we just see how he looks like before we do another tower and just use him as the match? Go to week 24. Modify the lineup. Choose a superstar. Seth frickin' Rollins. Only has one contract. That's all we need. Don't even get his entrance though. We would get his victory animation, wouldn't we? We wouldn't get his entrance. Oh my god, look at the hair! Right, let's just see the move combos. Right, Phoenix Splash, Springboard Knee. And then Ripcord Nut. See, it's the wrong knees because it's Curb Stomp. He's got the attire, but the moveset's just wrong. It's great that they've got the NXT moveset. There we go. There's the taunt. Yeah, yeah. It would be cool, L, if they carried over. Absolutely. It won't, because that's not how FIFA works either, or Madden. They should give you something for earning X amount of levels or whatever, earn X amount of packs, just as a, sort of a legacy sort of idea. Weird thing is, the regular moveset feels like it's not. Super kick. It's so old. It's not full NXT. Maybe normal Seth Rollins has his moveset as well for the strikes. It feels more like his NXT persona than anything else. No, getting brain bastard. Yeah. No. No. Punch you. Wow. Oh, springboard. It's the springboard bloody knees, isn't it? Oh my god, I busted him wide open. Busted him wide open. Oh. See, I want to do the strikes now. I'm going to turn my mic off because I'm probably want to save the footage afterwards. No, we're only Seffi Rollins. Yeah. Oh, and the Phoenix Splash, yeah. He was the curb stomp in NXT, wasn't he? He wasn't just knees. Give me more, give me more, give me more, give me more. Right, so it is ripcord behind. Oh, okay, so yeah. Boom! Big knee. Thank you, come again. The hair's atrocious on Seth. I did read it in sort of in quickness, L. Yeah, I need to go back to it. I'll read it now actually. Look, Monday Night Messiah, Titantron. The hair's so bad. Let me just save the last 3 minutes of that. Just so I remember how bad it was. Right, let's get the Screen Rant interview up. Lywell, Jinx, Brian Williams, and Dino. The three developers behind the recently announced WWE 2K23 discuss its new additions like War Games and involvement John Cena with the title. WWE 2K23 is focused on having more features and making improvements on past iterations, and also has the involvement of John Cena. Alongside being featured on the cover for each edition of the game, Cena has also provided his input as executive soundtrack producer for the title and will be the focal point of WWE 2K23's showcase. Even though 2K22 was better than its predecessors, yeah, predecessor. 2K23 developers have still set out to do more. This includes the addition of fan-favourite event War Games as an in-game mode, a more detailed creation suite, and better narrative options. Partially a celebration of John Cena's 20 years as a WWE star, the WWE 2K23 Showcase mode will center around players beating John Cena and a myriad of famous matches, and is narrated by the wrestler himself in what also serves as a partial documentary. So, yeah, it doesn't sound like there's anything to do with you playing as John Cena. Screen Rant sat down with creative director Lionel Jinx, associate gameplay producer Brian Williams, and showcase lead designer Dino Zacconi to discuss the ambitions of WWE 2K23, Cena's involvement, and the exciting things players can expect from the upcoming title. So Screen Rant asks, so first I just want to dive in a little bit to this Cena-centric 2K showcase and how slingshot tech plays into that. Can you guys talk about a bit about that? Lionel Jinx says, yes, slingshot tech. That was something that was brought into 2K22 and created the seamless transition between live action footage and gameplay, and I love it. I kind of came up with it, so I'm biased. But Dino is our designer responsible for that mode, so it's kind of like giving him the keys to the car and let him drive, and he's, in my opinion, upped even more this year. Dino, can you... Dino? We'll go with Dino. Dino, can you speak to this? I do apologise if you do hear it, and that's I pronounce your name. I do apologise. Dino goes with, yeah, there's a lot of good things that happen with the slingshot tech. Just kind of immerses you into the match right away. It looks really good when we fade out and fade back in. So we wanted to bring that back this year again. It really helped our cutscenes out. And a lot of things that we heard in the past, like sometimes our cutscenes go on for a few minutes, and it's tough to watch an animated cutscene. And so we thought that putting you in the action like that makes it a little easier when you're watching these things go down. In my opinion, Christina's. Oh, yeah, because obviously she was with Lionel, wasn't she, Elle? That's a thought. Yeah, we need to ask that question. That's definitely a question we need to ask on that. Let me just 1 second. I need to get the chat back up. They're saying that it's because the anime cutscene's been too long. I don't think anyone had a massive problem with long cutscenes that go on for a few minutes. Because bear in mind, there's a skip button. I think that's just a silly reason to give to say that they didn't want to spend more time animating the cutscenes. I don't think that's a adequate reason, in my opinion. Anyway, Dino goes on with, so yeah, this year we've got this John Cena showcase. We're playing on 2 of his biggest themes. The actual theme of the showcase is "You Can't Beat Me." So I'm making it that you're going to be playing as all of Cena's opponents in these historical matches, with the goal of rewriting the magic that they made on the nights they were actually able to defeat John Cena. And so playing off of that goes hand in hand with your never give up tagline. It's tough when you're seen as someone that wins a lot and doesn't struggle, but you're telling everybody never give up. So we wanted to focus on the times where he didn't win the match, he came up short. If he lost the championship, lost an opportunity to the championship, like these are the moments that never give up actually means something. It's easy to tell other people that are down or don't give up, but like when you see the actual human being preaching this, and he follows that same thing, it just hits a little bit harder. So I really think the fans are really going to enjoy the showcase this year. We've got some really cool matches in there. We go from his debut on a hot summer night. Get Meatloaf out there on that one. In 2002, all the way until SummerSlam 21. So that's with Roman, wasn't it? A lot of great opponents, and we have a few other surprises hidden in there as well. Really excited about the showcase. Okay, Mark. This is Christina is still listed senior arch producers, but they've not used it in the interviews so far. Okay. Another really exciting thing is War Games debuting for the first time. This is a screen run. I'm really curious as what you guys like for it to integrate that into the game. The biggest challenges, the biggest things you wanted to be sure to include in that mode. I'll start this off and I'll let Brian finish it. If you think about like how do we get War Games set up, we really started it on 2K22, but indirectly. In order for us to rebuild the gameplay engine from the ground up, we had to tear everything apart and figure out like, oh right, one day what are we going to want? One day what are we going to want to be able to do? We're going to want to be able to traverse freely. We're going to want to be able to walk up a ledge and just kind of climb it. In years past, it was impossible, right? Everything was kind of hard coded, where you're like, oh, if I wanted to go to the ring has to be at this location. If I want to perform this action, I have to be at this location, I have to do this. And it was just crazy, right? Like, even just climbing scaffolding was just like hard-coded to a specific location. It made it really hard to have freedom. And so once we rebuilt the engine from the ground up, we're like, oh my gosh, we looked at it when we did the backstage brawl for 2K22, and you're like, oh, you can climb up on this platform, wrestle on top of it. There's no ropes, and you can still, wrestle on this mat-like surface. Cool, what else can we do now? And we're like, War Games with it. On a PL and then NXT, there's 2 rings. That's kind of scary. And so we tried it. All right, what happens if you put a cage around it? Yep, it kind of works. And then you're like, okay, now let's think about everything else. Right, but before I go on to the next paragraph, I understand. So for scaffolding ledges and stuff in older games, they were fixed to a focal point, so only one person could go on it. It's kind of like the chamber pods. They're stuck on the one person, and that's it. But you've got the top of the Hell in a Cell, okay, which is an open area. You've got the outside bit, which you could do grapple hits. Climbing a staircase and then having another flat surface on a different location. I don't see how that wasn't possible before. Like, that just... It's... doesn't... Like, you could have had... Like, backstage brawls for years, you were still able to do random grapples. In fact, they coded it so that you could only do different grapples out in backstage brawl, when they could have easily made it be regular moves as well. So I don't understand the reasoning there. And they're saying they've done the gameplay engine from the ground up, which is not the case. realistically, because it's not like it's a brand new engine. They grabbed the engine from a previous title, grabbed that core part, and then built from it. It's not from the ground up, because it wouldn't be on this engine. They would have went on to Havoc, onto Unreal. They would have went on to something better, in my honest opinion. You wouldn't stick to the same code. So I don't like the reasoning for that. There's 2 cages that people have to come out of. There's 3 referees, there's weapons, and there's this little area between the ring where they fight and you can do things. So the designers and engineers and artists all worked together and kind of figured out the plan on how to attack this. And surprisingly, we stood up this kind of like skeleton framework, a grey box of it, where you can just walk around and do things, and you're like, oh, this is really promising. Let's keep going. Finally, we got the confidence to really do it, and that's around the same time Brian Williams came back on board. And he was a big part of the team that really figured out to get this thing across the finishing line and figure out the design of all the animations, going to mocap and figuring out how to plug all the holes that were exposed once we started really making this happen. All the credit, I would say, goes to Lionel, the creative brain trust, and the designers, engineers, programs that banded together and were able to take on this challenge. And there's no question the war games would be a big challenge with the trench and everything like that. This hurdle for one of figuring out how this can ever even be done, knowing that it's something that the fans have been clamoring for since 2017 when they first ran the event. Probably doing it previously, like you said, the engine wasn't really built to handle something of that magnitude, and the team's gone in, they did their magic. I'm no engineer or programmer, these guys are like wizards to me. They went in there and they did their thing, and it was the optimum time to do it. Especially, and I mentioned this before in another interview, but the timing, the team started developing this, way ahead of Survivor Series last year. But then, when the news broke that Triple H was bringing War Games to the main roster for the first time, we were all like, this is fantastic. So now you play it in the NXT arena. You can also, and again, strengthens the props team. When the event happened in the Survivor Series, I think, Lionel, you were like, hey, what are the chances of getting the arena before War Games? And they were like, yeah, we've got to do it. So the team did it in record time. And so players will have the option of playing the match type in both venues, plus a further, which I won't say because that's another thing that we talked about later. Now, is that to do with an old school arena? Is that to do with My Rise? Who knows? They're keeping that secret, aren't they? But the match type itself is great. I think the team, everyone from top to bottom, really put their all into the match to make it succeed. It's one of those match types where, with the fan anticipation and all the match type entails, we couldn't miss. We've only got one chance for a good first impression, and everyone was keen on making the match that the fans deserve. The match that we on the team all want to give to fans and have this be a long-standing match type in the franchise moving forward. The match is great. It's 3-on-3 and 4-on-4 for men and women. We actually have female referees in the game this year, which is great. The matches are fantastic. Players will have the option and ability to customize the rules as they see fit. Being able to bring in weapons into this gargantuan filed structure is another kind of cherry on top of Sunday for this match, which again will be for the first time because we've never allowed the level of weapons within a steel cage structure. So, Defined Steel Cage, they allowed weapons to be in Hell in a Cell a couple of years ago, which was one of the fine points of 2K20, wasn't it? Allowing weapons to be in the Hell in a Cell. But that's not the Steel Cage match, but it's still a Steel Cage, so tit for tat on that one. So I think fans will really gravitate towards that. So, having weapons in any mode is fantastic. And also something that I'm partial to because I tend to play these games as a single player is that if you're playing war games by yourself, when you have your new partners enter the match, you can freely switch control from one member of your team to the other by pressing the back button. Now that's an interesting thing before I go further. On my faction, you press the touchpad and you change your person. Okay? They're saying the back button, which there isn't a back button on the PlayStation controller. It's only on the Xbox controller. So, is it still the touchpad on PS5? Who knows? So you're stuck control. So you're not stuck controlling the one super that you selected before, which I think is a huge aspect. It actually helps strategically. If you see one of your teammates getting walloped, you can say, "Okay, I can take control. My teammate over here needs some help." So you can just swap control and then manage the match that way. It's a blast to play. There's lots of fun spots. You can fall dives off the top of the cage onto the superstars below. Fighting within the trench, that space between the two rings, has a brand new type of attack, area attack. The ability to perform springboards from one ring to the next is sick. Doesn't sound like you can do springboard to springboard, but certainly springboard from one ring to another sounds good. I just can't wait for the fans to get their hands on it for themselves to be able to play it and experience it. Blah 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 blah. Should be good. These new modes and new showcases are really exciting, but there also have been a lot of updates to the modes that players are already familiar with. I know one of the biggest ways that it's sort of changed across the board is narratively, that the in-game storytelling has really grown and evolved in this latest edition. Could you talk a bit about that? Blah blah blah. Blah blah blah. My Rise is like your journey through coming up in the WE for the male storyline, which is called The Lock this year. The female storyline, that's called The Legacy. And that's the story's review universe. There's some huge improvements we made to help tell the story and give users even more control than we already had, which is crazy to think about. Haven't had that much control in the universe in the past couple of years. You can have actions that you want certain superstars to perform before match. Okay, I want Bobby Lashley to shake hands with MP3 before the match, but at the last second, I want him to just punch him. Like, those are the actions you can essentially assign to that match and watch this cutscene play out and see how that kind of dictates your rivalry, which will be good if it happens and works that way. And to me, one of the biggest things I would say, because it touches on every single aspect of all these modes that we're talking about, is gameplay, right? Well, like fatigue, stamina, seeing your superstars, behave differently as the match is going on, and just seeing them walk around a bit slower. Or where they're like getting hit by moves and they're going into the corner and certain moves are getting performed in them that weren't accessible elsewhere. That's, to me, telling a story from the gameplay side, where it's just kind of happening organically. And I love seeing that stuff. And then Brian, we talked about weapons taunts telling stories in that way, where they're just kind of like grabbing a weapon and taunting with it. Ooh, taunting with weapons, that's nice. Is that in that character that you see when you watch WWE? You're like, oh yeah, this guy's just a jerk. You can start to channel your inner jerk and do these things as well. I love all of that, and to me, if we didn't have story, we'd just be a fighting game, but we're a professional wrestling game. Okay, a lot to divulge on that, because obviously we've seen fatigue and stamina in the game. 2K22's got it with the blue bar. You can't run once you run out of stamina, you have to wait. Nothing to say about body injury, of course, on that. But taunting with weapons, yeah, that's fine. But saying if we didn't have story, we'd just be a fighting game. They've added combos with button bashing in 2K22. Like, nah. What are you trying to be? Are you trying to go for the arcade fight style, or are you trying to be a professional wrestling game? Choose. So, seen as the executive soundtrack producer of the game, what's the collaborative process been like? He has street cred, right? Like, dude has bars, he has albums, says Lionel. He's a way better ear than most of us. So, to me, it was just a natural fitting for him to want to be able to control over that. We was like, yes, please do. I want to put that on my Spotify playlist. It's awesome. Usually in development, you get sick of hearing the same song every time you pick up the game. This one is hot. So you're basically saying that the last few years, your game soundtracks have been crap, and now you're saying this one's good. Like, I mean, it kind of shoots on the people that did the executive direction in the before. And wasn't The Rock an executive director? Just pointing that one out. What other new stuff are you most excited the fans to react to? Lionel's a graphic snob, he says, and one of the biggest disappointments in any year, especially with 2K22, because we've raised the bar on so many things. But then you look at a creation suite. The characters that we allowed our communities to create just weren't on par with our own superstars. They just looked a little artificial, and it was one of the biggest mandates that we had this year, was to get the creative suite superstars at the same level of fidelity as we put into our own superstars. Well, there's some community creations that look better of the characters that are in 2K22. There's some on community creations that are better than the in-game models, no question. But there was obviously the hair and certain skins. Well, until we get more info on the rosters animations, there's no point doing the stream. I hope there's actual taunts, yeah. So when you look at the creations, they're great now, they're on par, and I can't wait to see what happens when we release it to our community and see them create all of this. We know what they create, people from different fairs, different IPs, the past, etc. It's crazy. And then when we have the creativity and freedom, and we added the advanced creating entrance back to the game, so it's like mixing and matching between different entrances and animations. So if I want to come and shot his tank, while I'm on the stage, but then switch to a scooter in the middle of it, and then get into the ring and pose like The Rock, and can do all of that, right? So that's back. Okay, it's good that they brought it back. Took them a few years, of course. Freedom, authentic experience, blah. Brian's gone and said Universe. I was playing the game of the past week, and I even reached out to our Universe designer. Him and those guys have done a tremendous job on Universe, because cutscenes have always been prevalent in Universe and telling the stories within that mode. But this year, having the ability to be that ultimate puppet master where being like Lionel described, being able to scroll through a list of available actions that you want your superstar to do, whether it's to be respectful at the start or disrespectful at the end. And that level of control that the players will have in Universe this year is something I don't think they were expecting. No, it's something that we've been expecting for years, it just hasn't happened. I mean, Universe already is about control and being able to manipulate everything, but we've not been able to manipulate things, that's the point. They think it's a game changer for the mode. I'm excited for the fans of this mode to get their hands on it, because I think it's one of those content creators who likes to stream the game, they're going to have a field day with this, I think. And the fact that it all works as beautifully as it does, I think that's something that is really going to surprise a lot of people. I'm really excited about that. That's big words to fill, because you know you're going to get shitted on, Brian, if it's buggy day one. Just calling that out there. Dino's God, I'm really excited for people to get to the end of the showcase. I think we've got some cool stuff lined up. Other than that, is 1 million beside on Team War Games. They really think the best showcase they've done is CENA's showcase. You take those interview segments, those live actions of him as he talks about his opponents, you could put that on A&E, and that will generate at least 2 million viewers. It's that level, the quality is good. Ray talking about his matches was great, in kayfabe, of course. But the mode was, I completed Ray's showcase in like less than an hour. Like, it wasn't great. It was, yeah, okay, yay, whoopee. 2K23 Deluxe Edition and Icon Edition will release on March 14th, and then cross-gen and standard on March 17th. On PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, and the PC. But they're still saying cross-platform community creations. And I hopefully we can get an answer on whether that's PS4 and Xbox cross-platform, or if it's including PC as well. We will find out, and if we let you know, we'll let you know. I'm going to go. My voice is about to go. I can feel it. But thank you very much for watching, guys. We will do some shorts and informations and more things over the coming days and weeks. Because we are into peak season now, we will get more content as and when we go.